Hello! Today we're going to show you how to make a mash tun out of an Igloo water cooler and some spare parts for under 20 bucks. The first thing you do is you get rid of this plastic deal here, because there's no way to hook up a hose and it would probably melt if you tried to run hot mash through it. Anyway, there's a nut in there. If you grab it, sometimes you need a pair of pliers. Just twist it off. The nut comes off. The old valve comes out. We don't need this anymore, so we'll set that aside. Now, the next thing you need is a few pieces from your hardware store. The first thing you're going to want to do is grab one of these stainless steel mesh supply lines and cut either with a hacksaw or a side grinder right through where it's crimped, right at the base right there, both ends. Because all we really want is this stainless steel that's around the plastic tube inside. The protective stainless steel mesh is going to be used as our false bottom inside the Igloo cooler. So once you cut that on both ends, you have to peel the stainless away from the plastic. After you get it peeled away a little bit, you might have to use an awl or a screwdriver, both ends, peel it down a little bit, then grab it with some pliers. Needle nose works really good, and just work it out, pulling it out until you have your stainless mesh tube off of the outside. The next thing we want to do is put together a bronze or brass valve as the new valve on your mash tun. So, with the pieces you bought at the hardware store, off the list, start putting them together like this. Using Teflon tape, give each threaded part 2 or 3 wraps of the Teflon tape. Screwing it all together. Now this is a 3/8 barb nipple that I'm putting on the end of the wrong end, the end of the new valve. This is what's going to hook up to the 3/8 vinyl tubing, which will drain into your boiling pot. So then you have a close nipple. This is all 1/2 inch. Screw that into the other side of the valve. Making sure that it's in there a good long ways. And we're pretty tight. There we go. Then take your 5/8 washer or 3/4 washer. It fits a little better. You might have to grind them just a little bit with a file. And then you take your rubber washer and squeeze that over threads, push it up against the metal washer, flatten it out. Now this particular Igloo water cooler was used, I got it off eBay for $5 plus shipping. You can get a new one, or you can find a used one, or maybe you have one, but if you buy a brand new one, they're about anywhere from 70 to 80 bucks. On the outside there. On the inside, what you're going to do is put your O-ring, another washer, and this female 3/8 barbed to 1/2 inch pipe thread goes on the inside of the mash tun on that close nipple. The two O-rings and washers will seal together once you tighten down both sides. So you see what's going on there. We've got that barb on the inside and that barb on the outside. Tighten on them really good and tight. You're going to need to get a wrench or a pair of vice grips in there. Just keep turning it tight until it won't turn anymore. We're going to cut to phase 2 and we'll come right back. How much room is left? Okay, once you get your valve tightened up in there really good, then you put together your false bottom with your stainless mesh. Take your 3/8 hex plug and your hose clamp, stainless steel, and work that hose clamp right in over the end of the mesh. It's pretty sharp, so watch your fingers. And then work that plug in there. Fold the wire down over the end of the plug. Push the hose clamp up to the end of the plug and tighten it down. That is the one end of the false bottom in your mash tun. So what happens here is the hot wart is filtered through this and acts like your false bottom. Make sure that you get the stainless supply line and not the plastic coated mesh ones, because the plastic coated mesh ones, they collapse when they get hot, and then you've got no way to drain out your hot wart. So the other end, put your hose clamp on there, and then work it over the hose barb right down here. Push your hose clamp up there, right to the nut, and there is your false bottom. Tighten up the hose clamp. The last part of this is your drain line. Take your 3/8 vinyl hose. Now if it's really cold, it might not want to stretch very good. So you might want to run some hot water over it to stretch a little easier. And once you get that nice and warmed up, it'll slip right on that hose barb. And your drain line and your homemade mash tun will be complete. And you are ready for grain mashing. There you go. And there you have it. This is what your false bottom looks like. Like that. This is what you drain into your wort boiler pan. Right in there. And there you have it. Homemade mash tun.